Hello, cooks, foodies, blind people, and watchers. Welcome back to Cooking Without Looking. My name is John. If you are new, this channel is dedicated to helping blind people, especially, but really just anyone who wants to learn how to cook. And today we're going to be making meatloaf, so that's a really good one, especially with the way the weather is getting. So, let me just make sure my camera is set up good. You'll have to forgive me if my camera's a little off. All right, so meatloaf. This is actually one of my favorite things to eat. So for a start, we're gonna get our oven going. So we set it at about 150. That's where you're gonna want your oven. And while that's heating up, we're gonna go ahead and make the meatloaf itself. So you take yourself one egg. And these eggs are tough. There it is. Let me be careful. I don't want to get any of it in there. All right, that's down in the bowl. Let me throw this eggshell away real fast. Okay, and depending on the amount of meat you have, that will determine whether you need to use one egg or two. I'm gonna go ahead and get the meat. I have it sitting over here by the sink, so I'm gonna be away from the phone for just a second. Not like opening. I'm gonna need a knife to cut this open. My hands are slipping a little bit. I don't know. Well, I don't need a knife that big. Here we go. There we go. Right. Open. Come on. Here we go. Let me bring this pack of meat over. I'm using 2 packs of it. And these were actually originally meant to be hamburgers, but we're using them for meatloaf. So, let's break them apart. And you don't have to use this kind of stuff. You can use really any type of ground meat. In fact, I'll make a whole separate video with ground turkey. Turkey meatloaf is really good, and if you haven't had it, I highly recommend you do. But let me get the rest of this. These are some big pieces of meat. Here we go. And because we're not using actual ground meat that's meant to be done like this, I'm gonna need to use the second pack. So throw this away. There we go. So I'm done with that knife. Put that in the sink for now. I'll wash it here in just a second. Bring the meat over here. Almost done with the meat, and then we will get to the rest of the ingredients. And like I said, this is a really good recipe for colder weather. It's very filling, so you get a good amount of your protein and everything. So that's always good. There we go. Throw this away. Because I was just handling raw meat, let me wash my hands. You always want to wash your hands after you deal with raw meat. Where is the soap? There it is. This thing doesn't work. Oh, now I broke it. Okay, we're just gonna pretend that didn't happen. Maybe I can edit that scene out. I got some soap, I think. We'll Wash your hands nice and good in the hot water. All right. So now we get to the fun stuff. So first we are gonna do some milk, and you're gonna want a cup of milk. So let me get my milk. And I've got my Braille measuring cups right here. Always a necessity when you're cooking if you're blind. I probably should move the mixing bowl off the stove top. Oops. And always pour over your bowl. You don't want to accidentally mess it up. Okay. So there's a cup of milk in there. Oop, there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and put this back in the fridge. Now we need a cup of breadcrumbs, but I don't actually have enough in this container. So what we are gonna do instead is we're gonna take these saltine crackers. I'm pretty sure that's what these are. I mean, they're crackers, I just don't know. I'm pretty sure they're saltine. Anyway, we're gonna take them and we're gonna break them up until we have a cup of breadcrumbs. So I'm gonna take a few of these, break them up. And you wanna make sure you get them nice and broken. You're gonna want them really mixed up. Small bits. You don't want to be biting in and get like a large mouthful of cracker. Okay. That's not enough, so I'm gonna need a little bit more. Get some more. And I should mention this video was actually made by request. So Destiny, if you're watching, here you go. Thank you for the suggestion. And if you guys have any videos you'd like to see made, any recipes that you enjoy, be sure to let me know in the comments. I'm more than happy to make anything as long as I know how to make it. I'm not Gordon Ramsay level good, so don't expect perfection from me now. But I'll do my best. I still need some more crackers in here. I don't know why I didn't use the little bit of breadcrumbs I do have and then just supplement with crackers, but oh well, I already started. Okay. I'll finish crushing them up as I mix them in. So we pour them into our meatloaf pan, or not pan, I'm not using a pan. And lastly, we're gonna need a little bit of salt. So I always prefer to use either sea salt or kosher salt. Oh, and onion. We need onion. So you can use a whole onion for this. I don't have one, and I didn't think to buy one at the store yesterday when I went because, well, I had no excuse why I didn't think of it. So instead of a whole onion, we're going to use minced onion, like the dried minced onion. So I'm going to take about a teaspoon of it, put it in this bowl. Maybe 2 teaspoons, just to make sure. You want to make sure you get a good bit of onion in here. All right, and we're also going to need a little bit of garlic too, I believe. Oh wait, I was supposed to do a tablespoon of onion and a teaspoon of salt. I messed up. So we're just going to sprinkle a little bit of salt in here. Put the onion back away wrong. Okay. And last but not least, we're gonna need just a little bit of minced garlic because garlic makes everything taste better. And if you disagree, well, fight me. So, I'm using a tablespoon measure, but I'm not gonna put a whole tablespoon in there. I'm probably gonna put only like a third of a tablespoon, just because I didn't think to grab anything smaller. Now, all right, that's a good time. That means our oven's hot enough, but we need to finish getting everything ready first. So while that continues, let me go ahead and close this up. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna wanna mix everything together. So you're gonna use your hands, you're gonna get your hands dirty. So if you're a neat freak, this is not the recipe for you. Make something else. But you really wanna get in there and just mix it. I guess you could use a stirrer or something, but it doesn't work the same. And personally, I don't find that it works the best. Yeah, I'm not certain my meatloaf is getting the consistency I want unless I'm making it, like, unless I'm feeling it myself, you know what I mean? There's a little too much milk in this, you can tell, because it's a little too loose. But what we'll do, we'll just add a little bit more of the crackers. So let me rinse my hands real fast. When you use a little too much milk, you can always just add a little bit more of the crackers to give yourself some balance. So I'm going to take a few more of these and break them up. Break them down in there. Good job. All right. So, as you go through, just make sure everything gets blended in with each other. You don't want one side that's more cracker and one side that's got, you know, all the garlic. You want to make sure you spread everything around. So really what you're going to want to do is just work it with your hands for a little bit. Can't you hear that sound? Don't that sound appetizing? I'm sure. And also, in case you've forgotten, you've got your egg down in here. You need to make sure it gets nice and broken up and worked into the rest. So just really work everything around. Okay. Hopefully the pan I have for this is big enough. I'm feeding 4 people, and some of us can eat. Break a little bit of those crackers up a little bit more. Alright, I think that's good enough. So now, let me rinse my hands again, because cleanliness is very important while you're cooking. Alright. So now, we grease the pan. So let me get my kitchen spray, which is actually behind the tripod, so y'all are gonna get a really close up of my face for a second while I find it. Oh, you know what? It's not there. You know what? It's behind my camera. Okay, so I'm gonna have to move the tripod. All right. Hold on. There it is. Set that down just for a second. I need more arms. Okay, put my tripod and the camera back down. Let's make sure I have it aimed correctly. I don't want it falling. All right, that's good. So now we take the kitchen spray. So you don't want anything sticking, trust me. I've made that mistake and it's not pleasant. All right, here we go. Shake it up nice and good and spray the whole pan. Get the sides, get the bottom. Every inch of the inside you want to spray. Alright, and now we take our meatloaf and we move it into that pan. And because I made this more difficult than it needed to be, okay, so take the meatloaf, and when you get it in the pan, you want to make sure it's nice and even. You don't want it to be really thick on one side and really thin on the other, because then it won't get done. So make sure you spread it out. That looks good. I haven't had regular meatloaf in a while. I often make turkey meatloafs. I have a really good recipe, which I will show you guys one of these days. But I don't know, I love regular meatloaf too. Now you'd think we'd be done, but we're not. Because now we gotta make the top of the meatloaf. So I've got a little bowl right here. And we're gonna need a few things, but first let me clean this area up a little bit, because I've got everything just kind of sitting here and I don't want it all just sitting here. So let me take my salt and garlic and put it away real fast. Okay, did I put the milk away? Yes, I did, okay. I get a little forgetful sometimes, y'all. All right, so to make the top, you're gonna need ketchup, you're gonna need mustard, and you are gonna need brown sugar and a little bit of onion. So let me get the brown sugar out of here. Okay. So let's get this made. So take a separate bowl. Put the top of the cure right for now. Okay, a separate bowl for your ketchup, because you're going to want to mix all this up before you put it on the meatloaf. And this is a new bottle of ketchup, so I need to get the little tab thingy off. I hate when they put these on here. I don't know about y'all, but I hate when they put these. When you open a new bottle and it's got that plastic, and it's not easy to get off. I don't want to get another knife out just for this. But at the same time, I don't think y'all want to sit here and look at me pull at it for 5 minutes. Wait, I think I got it. There we go. I got it. Perfect. And then put the lid back on, because you don't want to overdo this. And throw this little plastic tab away. All right. So you're going to take a cup of ketchup. So let me put this ketchup in this measuring cup. And again, always measure over your bowl, because you have no idea how fast this stuff can come out. Sometimes it comes out quick, sometimes it doesn't. And it's better to not find out. So personally, I'm not the biggest fan of ketchup, honestly, but it works on meatloaf, I will say. When I was a kid, I actually had to eat it. When I was a kid, my mom actually had to make the meatloaf. She left me a little piece of it without the ketchup. But over the years, I've gotten used to it and stuff. I mean, I grew up. No, that's not to say if you don't like ketchup on your meatloaf, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to make this, I guess it's a glaze. And you don't have to make it like this. But this is just the recipe I found and I really liked. This is actually my first time making this particular glaze. So you guys are actually going to test it with me. Right, so your ketchup down into your mixing bowl. That's good enough. And I'm going to clean my hands because I am. All right. Now we're done with the ketchup, so move it away. Now we want some mustard, and if you guys saw my grilled cheese video, you know I like this brown mustard right here, and you're going to want 2 tablespoons of it. 2 tablespoons of mustard down in the mix. It's going to be a very rich taste, I think. It's going to be unique, I'll say that much. I don't know how this is going to turn out. Like I said, I've never made this particular recipe before. Alright, so 2 tablespoons of coarse brown mustard. This is going to be a good top, I think. And lastly, I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit of onion in there because I like onion, and I don't know that I got enough in the meatloaf. Excuse me. I don't know that I got enough in the meatloaf itself, so wait, where did I move the onion to? Oh, there it is. Well, if you guys were wondering if I really am blind, there's your answer, I think. There we go. Get some onion down in there. Alright, and now 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. And I actually have a special measuring cup that's for 2 tablespoons, so that's going to save me some time. Alright, down in here. Okay. Alright, dump it in. I just said I had a 2 tablespoon thing, and I almost went in and got another tablespoon of the brown sugar anyway, so you can tell where my mind is. So now, close up our brown sugar. And I keep mine in a plastic Ziploc bag because, well, I don't know if it's a Ziploc bag. I keep it in a plastic bag to keep everything out of it. I guess what I really should do is just put it in a container. There we go. I'll put it back in this tote here on the table. You know what? That's it up here for now. Alright. Now we take a spoon and we mix this glaze up. So we get a spoon. You want to stir it all up. You want everything combined really well. You don't want a spot with too much brown sugar. You don't want a spot with too little. There was a lump in there. There we go. Just stir it up a little. All right, now we're gonna take it and put it on our meatloaf. So I'm gonna pour it onto the meatloaf and then I'll spread it with the spoon. And we spread it out with our spoon. Make sure you get every inch of this meatloaf with it. Stir it out. Or spread it out, I mean. Alright, that's good enough. And now we pop it in the oven and we wait for an hour. But I'm not going to show you guys the whole hour of me waiting, but I will show. Alright, here we go. Get this put down in here. I want to make sure it's nice and far in. And I set the timer on my phone, so I won't actually show you guys me setting the timer or anything like that. But that's the basics for your meatloaf. Again, winter coming up, or we're already in fall. Go ahead and make this recipe. It's nice, it's good, and it feeds a lot of people. Again, this video was requested, so thank you to Destiny Wah. If you haven't seen her channel yet, go ahead and search for it. She does videos on wrestling and things like that, so very interesting stuff. And she requested this video. If you have a video you would like to suggest for a recipe you'd like me to make, please go ahead and go in the comments section and send me a message. I'll be more than happy to look at them. I make no promises, of course, because I don't know how to make everything, but we'll see what happens. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video of Cooking Without Looking. Again, my name is John, Thank you guys for watching. I really hope you enjoy this recipe. Have a great day, and God bless you.